Blended learning is an increasingly popular teaching method in those technology-enriched classrooms. One of the more popular blended learning strategies that teachers are using is creating playlists.
That's right. And playlists are a great starting point for teachers looking to develop activities and resources and make them available to students. And we're going to show you a few options on how to create this on this week's episode of IT Weekly.
Playlists are a great way to differentiate instruction. As a student, I have a list of items that meets my needs, and then I can move through at my own pace.
And as a teacher, I can use assessment data as well as student work samples to inform the kind of content that should go into this playlist. Now, if you're new to playlists, we suggest keeping it simple, and it doesn't get any easier than starting with your basic Google document.
One of the simplest ways of creating a playlist is doing so right through a Google Doc. I've created a Google document right here where I can build a playlist that my students can follow through right here. And there's a multitude of ways of developing this or structuring this playlist. You see here I have a outline of what your playlist could be composed of, where you would have a topic, then a subtopic, or maybe a skill that you want your students to develop related to the main content. And then you have your resources underneath it. So you could have various resources, including videos, images that you find online or the ones that you've taken in class, presentations, charts, so on and so forth. You could list all of the resources that you want your students to go through and put them in the sequence that you want them to follow. And then you could also include independent practices or different activities that you want students to complete as well. I'm going to just simply include this or just make this visible in checkboxes form with the checkbox outline option here. If I have multiple items or subcontents that I want my students to go through, I can include multiple options in there as well. And then you may want to have a checkpoint just to check for understanding and just do a quick assessment to make sure students are grasping what you're teaching them. You could also do one in a table format where you put your standard and then again in sequence through the table all the things that you want your students to interact with. So again, you could have videos, notes, images, whatever the content is, you can have them go through each box and then order them one by one, and you can again have a checkpoint. You could also structure your playlist in pathways and let students choose where they want to go. So you can have one column where you have a pathways that is set up for a certain set of students, maybe more of your visual learners. Then you can have another pathway that is set up for your high flyers or maybe your students that are really picking up the content real quickly, and then maybe another pathway for your students who need a little bit more assistance. But you can differentiate some of the content through these pathways. These are just a couple of options that you have. You can create your playlist through a Google Doc.
What's nice about using a Google document is that you can share it with others, including the student, which allows them to have some input and some ownership about what goes into that playlist.
But if you're looking for something a little bit different for creating your playlist, there are a ton of sites out there, but the most popular one in CMS is Blendspace. Blendspace is a great way to build lessons using a mix of online resources and your own content that you've created. Getting started is extremely easy. Once you figure out your topic, just type it in the search bar in the upper right-hand corner. Blendspace will then give you a bunch of different online options like YouTube, Google Search, as well as Google Images. It also has a way where you can actually upload a website link or an iframe embed code to be able to add that to your Blendspace. They also have the ability to link your Google Drive and your Dropbox. If you have content that you've created on your computer or on a flash drive, all you need to do is select the Upload Media button and then select Choose File, and now you'll be able to upload items from those different locations. Adding content to your Blendspace is extremely easy. Once you find the content, all you need to do is drag in and drop it. You also have the ability to add text to one of your Blendspace slides. All you need to do is select Add Text, and then the Rich Content Editor will pop up that will allow you to edit your text where you can type in for your students. Blendspace also gives you the ability to add a quiz to your Blendspace. So all you'll need to do is type in your question and then the different answers for your multiple choice question. Rearranging your slides is as easy as dragging and dropping. You can also add Common Core standards as well as the subject content of your Blendspace. When your Blendspace is complete, you want to go ahead and give it a title. You'll also be able to go down to each individual slide and rename those slides. When you're done creating your Blendspace, you can select the Share button. If you've created periods or classes inside of Blendspace, you can assign your Blendspace to one of those classes. You can also share or embed your Blendspace within Google Classroom. You can use the embed code to add your Blendspace to a Canvas page. You can also share Blendspace through an email or have your students scan a QR code to access their Blendspace. What really sells teachers on Blendspace is its simplicity and accessibility. Its drag and drop layout makes them extremely easy to build, and there are a ton of ways to make your Blendspace available to your students.
Could you make it available through Canvas?
Yeah, sure.
That's perfect. That leads me into our third great option, which is using your learning management system like Canvas to build your playlist.
To create a playlist using modules in Canvas, in your course, select Modules, and then you can add a brand new module to build your playlist. Once you've done that, you can begin adding content inside your module. Make sure that you put all of the items in this module in a specific order if you want the students to follow a certain sequence. Now this module becomes your playlist. If you want to set certain requirements inside your playlist, you can go to your module and select the gear, and then select Edit, and then underneath the requirements sections, you can add a requirement so that students must meet a certain standard in order to move on to the next item in your module, or before they can move on to another module or another playlist.
What's nice about Canvas is that you have everything in one place. You have your playlists, you have your student data, you can communicate with your students digitally through Canvas, so you have everything that you need in one location, one central spot in Canvas.
And before I forget, remember we had that video contest a few weeks ago to win a free trip to NC Ties. So we actually went and visited the winner. Let's check out that footage.
Okay, so we're here at Ramen Road. We're getting ready to surprise Peter Panico. He is our NC Ties video contest winner. He's right inside the cafeteria. We're gonna go give him a little surprise. Panico, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, we're here to announce that you are the winner for the NC Ties video contest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Voted on your video. It was excellent. And you're going to win NC Ties.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Peter Panico. You are our NC Ties video contest winner. If anybody wants to see the video that Peter made, he did an awesome job. You can click the link below to check out what he did.
That's going to do it for this week's episode. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check us out next week for another edition of IT Week.